In this video, I'm going to be talking about rep ranges and why I personally think they're a very useful tool to be using in your training. So a lot of basic programs and the way a lot of beginners tend to train is they'll go to the gym and they'll do a certain amount of sets, and each set of that exercise, they'll just do the same amount of reps. So maybe they'll do 3 sets of 5 reps or 4 sets of 10 reps or whatever it is. The point is each set has the same amount of reps. And that's fine, but I have 2 fundamental issues with this approach. So first of all is progression. I think it's a bit complicated to program your progression if you're just trying to hit the same amount of reps in each set. So let's say you're doing 3 sets of 10 reps, right, for an exercise. We know that you need to progressively overload over time. That's the best way to make gains, to get your strength up, to gain muscle. You want to progressively overload. So how do you do that? If you're hitting 3 sets of 10 reps, then next session, what do? Do you just add weight onto the bar? Okay, you hit 3 sets of 10 reps again. Do you just keep adding weight onto the bar every session? There's going to come a point where that's not going to work anymore. You're not going to be able to hit 10 reps. So what do? Do you just stay on the same weight for 2 sessions, 3 sessions? What happens when you put weight on the bar and you can't hit 10 reps? So it's not exactly clear how you progress with that method. The other issue I have is I believe if you're training close to failure, which again is another thing we know is quite important to do in your training. You don't want to be leaving more than sort of 1 or 2 reps in the tank. If you're doing that, you're doing 10 reps and you're only leaving 1 rep in the tank, and then you're doing 10 reps and you're only leaving 1 rep in the tank. On the 3rd set, are you really going to be able to get 10 reps? I don't think so, maybe on certain exercises, but I think on a lot of exercises, in order to get 10 reps on the 3rd set, you probably have to be leaving a couple extra reps in the tank for that first set. So maybe on the first set, you could have done 14 reps or 13 reps. Maybe you're leaving 4 reps in the tank on the first set in order to get to 10 reps on the 3rd set. And I think that's just not a very efficient way to do it. I think for the first, couple sets, you're probably not training as hard as you could be because you need to get to that same number of reps for your last set. So I think that's sort of holding you back a little bit. Now, using a rep range, I think, is an excellent way to solve these 2 issues. So first of all, in terms of progression, right? So a rep range could be anything. It could be 3 to 6 reps. It could be 4 to 8 reps. It could be 8 to 12 reps, 10 to 15, 15 to 20, whatever. As long as it's a range. I don't like using too close of a range, like sort of 10 to 12, where you only have 2 reps to play with. I like to leave about, 4 reps, maybe 5 reps, of leeway in the rep range. And in terms of progression, I think this is fantastic because what it allows you to do is keep the same RPE throughout each set of the exercise. So let's say you're doing 8 to 12 reps and your goal is to train at an RPE of 9. So you're only trying to leave 1 rep in the tank for this exercise. Now, you can do that and leave 1 rep in the tank and maybe you get 12 reps on the first set. Then on the 2nd set, maybe you'll get 10 reps. And on the 3rd set, maybe you'll get 9 reps. And that's perfectly fine. If you're doing 12 reps, 10 reps, and then 9 reps, but each of them you're very close to failure, maybe just 1 rep away from failure, I think that's much better than hitting 10 reps, 10 reps, and 10 reps. And, the first one being 4 reps away from failure, the second one being 3 reps away from failure, and then the last one, being very close to failure. So I think it allows you to keep a consistent effort throughout each set because you have that leeway to not have to hit the same amount of reps. And then also in terms of progression, when you hit the top of the rep range for each of your sets with good form, that's when you increase the weight. It's as simple as that. So if you're going for 8 to 12 reps, then once you get to a session where you're strong enough that you're doing 12 reps and 12 reps and 12 reps. If you're doing 3 sets, you hit 12 reps on each set with good form, you increase the weight. It's as simple as that. And I think that's just a very easy sort of concept to get your head around. And once you increase the weight, it's very simple because you don't have to worry about, hitting 12 reps, 12 reps, and 12 reps straight away on the new weight. Maybe you're only going to hit 11 reps and then 10 reps and 8 reps, and that's perfectly fine. Now you can work your way back up, through the rep range and work your way back up to the top of the rep range and progressively overload in that way. So, if maybe on the first session you did 11 reps, 10 reps, and 8 reps, and then maybe on the next session you're going to be doing 11 reps, 10 reps, and 9 reps, and you got 1 extra rep on that third set, and that is progressive overload. You've trained harder than last time, and you're just increasing your tonnage over time. So even though you'll hit the top of your rep range, and then you'll sort of yo-yo down and do less reps because you've increased the weight, and then again you'll max out your rep range, and you'll sort of yo-yo through the rep range. But each time you're putting weight on, and your tonnage over time, the amount of total weight you're lifting over time, is just going to go up and up and up and up and up, and you have a very easy way to judge when you're ready to increase the weight, and you're training at the same intensity and with the same amount of effort for each set of your workout. So that's why I absolutely love to use rep ranges, and if you don't use them, I definitely recommend you give them a try. Once you've been doing it for a while, obviously progression is quite slow, and what I find myself doing is, even when I've hit the top of a rep range, so let's say I'm doing 8 to 12 reps, and I've hit 12, 12, and 12, there will be some times where I'm not completely satisfied with the way those 3 sets went. Maybe I sacrificed my form a little bit to get to that 12th rep on the third set or whatever. And so what I'll do is I'll just mark that down in my book. I'll say, retake this weight next time before increasing the weight. And I'll just make sure my form really is perfect before moving on to the next weight, before adding weight onto the bar. So give that a try if you haven't yet. I really do think it's a fantastic tool. It's a great way to push progression and to make sure that your effort is consistent throughout your whole workout. So thank you for watching, and see you guys next time.